Tom, we appreciate you joining with us on the broadcast once again. We have restored the connection. I want to continue first with the question that I asked you first, and what I want to essentially understand at this given point is the evidence which of tax evasion you have collected against Mohammed Yunus through your deep investigation and the findings. Your comments, Tom.
Yes, it's sort of many years ago. Thank you for inviting me. But anyway, we found we revealed documents that has never been published before, saying that Yunus was deliberately transferring money from one company to another company and quoting himself for it was due to tax reasons. But that's a long story. I think the video is online, and you feel free to link to that. Then people can see for themselves that, to my point of view, microcredit doesn't work. It's leaving the poor people in a in a vicious circle of debt trap. But I don't think that's what you wanted to ask me about. Because what's happening right now in Bangladesh, and I'm certainly not a political expert, and don't judge me for that. But I think that this is, you have to separate the things. One thing is that the people want another government, and that's fine with me. I'm critical to Mohammed Yunus and the way he does his banking, but not necessarily the way he wants or can do his politics. He has tried it before, back in, was it 7 or 8, where he tried to form a political party. That wasn't a very big success. And I noted that in news outlets, he's saying right now that he is not interested in politics. But if he wants to be the head of the interim government, he must sort of be interested in politics, I think.
Tom, after your findings, as you are pointing out that the motive with which you have worked is entirely different, and of course we appreciate your great work that has been done in this field, do you really think and perceive of it as a thought that it comes of the people of the Bangladesh at this given point? The people of the Bangladesh are in current despair. Do you think after what you have exposed, the people of Bangladesh can accept a man who has siphoned off $100 million?
That's up to the people of Bangladesh to decide. What I can see and read is that this proposal about bringing Yunus into the interim government or leading the interim government is done by the student organization. And the student organization is certainly not the poor people's students. The poor people in the countryside, they still suffer from vicious microcredit companies, not only the Grameen Bank, but many, many, many others, who is, to my point of view, very harsh on interest rates, very harsh in collecting reimbursements and whatever. If I should say something, I would stand with the poor people of Bangladesh. They don't have a voice. I gave them a voice in my film. And I hope also they will have a voice in the coming elections or whatever happens in Bangladesh future on. I'm the poor man's guy.
That's for the people of Bangladesh to decide. But currently, the country lies in shambles, Tom. What about your entire time when you had been undergoing this experience of exposing the way the money has been siphoned off? Have you faced any intimidation or hostility from Mohammed Yunus or the US-based Grameen Bank after your investigation was completed or after it was made public? What were your reactions that you have got from Mohammed Yunus or even the US-based bank?
Typically speaking, when you do critical investigations of anything, you will always meet a counterattack. And the counterattacks was sort of, you know, the expression killing the messenger boy. So various organizations try to intimidate me, saying that I'm a bad guy, I didn't represent myself as a journalist, and blah, blah, blah. All the normal counterattacks that follows an investigation like mine. But nothing has happened in that sense. They haven't taken me to court because they don't have a case. I was 100% solid on my proof. And besides trying to kill me as a messenger, nothing happened. And I know this. I've known this for 30 years now.
That's a relief. That's a thing for relief that nothing eventually did happen. But you did face intimidation.
Yeah. But that's part of the job. I don't mind that, honestly speaking.
Was it directly from Mohammed Yunus, or there were some agencies that were involved and behind it?
Well, he talked to the Norwegian aid agency NORAD. They have a magazine, and a month later, the program followed the program. He told the journalist at the Norwegian magazine published by the Foreign Ministry of Norway that it was the program that axed me. It was just after he was sacked from the director's office at the Grameen Bank. But I haven't heard that expression since. Maybe his media assistants and PR agents said, "Don't say that." I don't know.
Okay. So going forward,
but we tried. Let me also emphasize that I traveled all over Europe to get an interview with him. I tried for many months to set up an interview with him, and he just turned my back on me. Nothing happened.
All right.
He wouldn't stand for an interview, and I had like 100 questions, and I sent them to them, and they didn't reply me.
You didn't get a reply, is what you're saying?
Basically, no.
Okay.
Except that nothing is wrong, and Tom Heinemann is a dirtbag.
Tom, what do you also think of the concerns that we as observers, we as the neighboring nation with Bangladesh, can have possibly for the people of Bangladesh if Mohammed Yunus is chosen as the successor? Now that departure of Sheikh Hasina has happened, there are concerns looming over where will she now move ahead. But if Mohammed Yunus is chosen as the successor, as observers, as the people in the neighboring nation, what concerns do you think typically we must have and we would have right now?
Well, as I said initially, I'm not very deep into Bangladeshi politics, but it's a well-known fact that Mrs. Hasina and Mr. Yunus has had a long time unfriendliness against each other. So that probably also plays a part in this. I'm not sure whether I can actually comment on this because it's a little bit far away when I'm sitting in Copenhagen in Denmark and just following the news on various online medias. But it's too early for me to say what consequences. I sincerely hope for peace and restoration of the democracy in Bangladesh, and every man and woman in Bangladesh deserves this. No more violence, please. It doesn't lead to anything, any good thing. So basically, that would be my comment on that.
Tom, do you also perceive, or you can share some thoughts about the kind of understanding that you have of Mohammed Yunus as a person? Because you have spent extensive amount of time to put this together. We have seen how it has come out. And what, in your opinion, is the understanding of that man? Because the person who has worked there has talked to a lot of stakeholders. What is your essential first thoughts on it, if you'd like to give me a little perspective on that?
No, but I just, as I said, noticed that he said to an Indian media yesterday, I think it was, or maybe this morning, that he's not really interested in politics. So, I mean, maybe that's part of the strategy for saying that, and then the people of Bangladesh might kindly ask him to join, and maybe he says yes to that. This is not my line of business, honestly speaking. I'm very critical to his banking models about microcredit, and I will continue to be that because microcredit doesn't work. as an alleviator of poverty. We have seen this in numerous studies all over the world, not only by Grameen Bank and Mohammed Yunus, but basically all microcredit finance institutions. They are ripping off the poor people with high interest rate, higher interest rates that you wouldn't pay and I wouldn't pay, but the poor people, they have to pay that because otherwise they cannot get into the market, as they say. So,
all right, Tom.
And to my point of view, as a journalist, tracing and chasing Mohammed Yunus for so many months seems to me a bit of an arrogant way of meeting critical questions, when I could see that every time he received a new medal somewhere, he stood up and received the medal or prize or whatever, but answering critical question was not in his line of business.
Before I let you go, yes.
Yeah, when it comes to the future of Bangladesh, I sincerely hope for peace. I sincerely hope that the Bangladeshi people will elect their new government themselves and not be pressured or harassed by anyone else. I mean, it's a big country. There's a lot of millions of voters. They should have their say, and not anyone else.
All right, Tom.
Not India, not the US, not the GB. You know, I mean, this is up to the people of Bangladesh to decide.
Well, that continues to be a scenario which is not in the state of stability as of now. It continues to be a position of wait and watch for India as well, as the situation on the ground continues to be volatile. Thank you, Tom, for joining us.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.